my high school sweetheart saw that I posted that my dad passed away at 85, peacefully in his sleep. I'm telling people. I mean, he was on morphine, laid in bed, and died. And died of a broken heart, mostly because my mom died.
Yeah.
So I posted, or my brother Kevin posted and tagged me on social media. He said, rest in peace, Dad. You're now with Mom. So my ex-girlfriend sends me a DM, and she's like, I'm so sorry to hear about Vince. Like, and I didn't even know this. She was like really sweet. She was like, your parents always made me feel welcome. I'm like, they did? I'm like, when did my parents ever make anyone feel well? Like, it's just funny. You have this image of your parents, but people on the outside have a whole different image.
Yeah.
Not that my mom or dad were ever rude to her, but I never thought they were like overly welcoming. But she's like, and she wasn't just saying it. She's like, yeah, totally. She's like, I actually ran into your mom a couple times after like you had moved out of New Jersey and had, pleasant conversations with her. I really enjoyed your parents. That's not the beef though. She goes, oh my God, I had no idea that your mom died. Why didn't you tell me? And I was like, well,
I didn't tell you my dad died either. You just happened to read it on my social media page.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, I posted about my mom on socials when she passed away in 2021. And she's like, I had no idea. Like, she found out that my mom had died in the post about my dad dying, 3 years later, 4 years later.
You gave her the 1-2.
And I gave her the 1-2 knockout punch. And so I said, I'm so sorry. She wasn't really beefing with me, but she's like, I wish I would have known. I really do. She's like, I would have went to the mass. I would have went to, whatever you guys had up here. So I said, what are your parents up to? And they're a little younger than my parents. And she's half Portuguese, and her parents are just living it up. She's like, great. They're retired. They spend half the year in the U.S., half the year in Portugal.
Awesome.
And then, I started thinking about my dad and how his life kind of ended, and it was his choice. Like, my dad loved being in bed. He was like the grandparents in Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Willy Wonka. I mean, he really loved being in bed.
Yeah.
And when I moved him into the long-term care facility with my brother, he was like, what's so great about this place? I said, well, they have a personal chef for you. We're paying a lot for you to be in here and taken care of. He's like, and they bring the food right to the bed. I didn't have to get out of bed. And that was like in the summer he was telling me that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about other people who are like 85 and, like my ex-girlfriend, my high school sweetheart's parents are probably in their late 70s, if not early 80s, and they're like doing things. My dad's buddy, who's maybe a year younger than him, flew down here to see him, got in the car, went to the airport, got on the plane. Like, my dad would have never have done that at his age. Isn't it just funny? Like, I know, and my dad wasn't sick, by the way. Like, he had onset dementia. Okay, so that's an illness, right?
Sure.
But like, your dad had cancer. Right. Amanda's dad had stomach cancer at 50 and died. Like, that's terrible. I love stories of people in their 80s who are like, my buddy's mom plays like full on pickleball all across the country. She's 83.
That's great.
She travels the country and goes and plays in little like amateur pickleball tournaments. And there's pictures of her like just living up life and loving it, holding up high noons and stuff. If I make it to be that old, that's what I want to do. But other people like my dad are like, I'm cooked. I'm cooked on life.
Your dad was very dependent on your mom, though.
Oh, died of a broken heart. Mm-hmm. My dad was very dependent on my mom. My mom said, like, not my mom's last words. My mom's last words were, you're sitting on my leg. But when I was sitting in bed with her, my mom's last words to me were like, I'm leaving you with your father. Something along those lines. And I go, Mom, we got this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And we did. He was a pain in the ass. I'm sure my mom kicked him in the ass when he got up there.
Yeah.
But they're back together. Anyway, I thought it was interesting that my high school sweetheart and I are having like a bickering match all these years later. I was like, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. So typical. Sure. How many times in my life have I said, I'm so sorry? I had no idea in that tone.
More than you could count.
It's like my hello.
Hey, it's Loren from the Maney and Loren Morning Show. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and like this video. If you want to see more videos, you can always check out our behind the scenes content or our War of the Roses.